Yesterday, Ash dropped this video on the top 40 Hydra champions. And as someone who regularly does Hydra takeovers, I have something to say about it. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? I am super excited about this video because I think it's going to be very helpful. I was watching Ash's video and he did a great job. He picked out so many good Hydra champions. He did an excellent job breaking down why they're good, how you can use them, all of those things. But there are some glaring omissions from the list, and honestly, a couple sketchy picks. Like, for example, I definitely would not have had Angar on the list. I do not think that he is a top 40 Hydra champion. Plenty of champions that are better than him. I do not think, there's a couple others too. I do not think that for most people, Fina is a top 40 Hydra champion. Maybe if you have all of the, high elves so that you can boost and, get the most out of your sweet new Authorions. Okay, maybe, but no, I don't think that she's top 40. But, I think that the majority of the champions on his list were absolutely amazing. But wowzers, there are some champions that definitely should have been on the list, so we're going to talk about those today. Also, stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to show you some practical teams using champions that are not on his list. And in addition to that, the final team that I'm going to show you is a sweet early game team that I was shocked about the potential of.
The shocker, I shock people.
So, we're going to start off talking about some of the champions that are not on the list that should be. And then we're going to get into the other champions that needed to be on the list, and they are even crazier. So if you think the first set of 10 champions was crazy, wait till you see the other champions in the teams that he did not include on the list. Okay, so anyway, I encourage you to go back and watch that video. I'll link it in the description below, and you can go ahead and watch that. I think it is a great piece of content for the community. Combined with this, I think it's going to be perfect. Now, also, I want to say that there are a lot of mythic champions on the list, and rightly so. My favorite that I don't have, Androck, so many others, and just ignore that. If you don't have any mythical champions, don't let that hold you back from gaining the good material that is in this video, okay? Because I'm going to talk about some mythical champions that he did not have on the list, but don't let that hold you back. Find the ones that are good for your account, and I do takeovers for Hydra all the time, whether that's coaching to tell you what teams to build, whether that's actually building teams. You can go to my website, MtgJedi.com, and book one of those things, and I'd be happy to help you with your Hydra teams. I need to do a coaching for that literally today, so it is something that I really enjoy doing, and I think I'm pretty good at it too. So, without further ado, let's jump into the video and get right to it. Okay, so this was the video that Ash did, the top 40 Hydra champions. I added his logo on there, that wasn't on the thumbnail. But here are the first 5 that really stood out to me as not being on the list. We have 2 of the best damage dealers for Hydra in the entire game. Toshiro and Lazarius, they are both insane, okay? I did a video on Toshiro on the test server, and holy crap, he's crazy. I want him so badly for my account. And then Lazarius is amazing too. Both of them, I think, can be, your best or one of your best arena nukers. Then we have Raka Viletide, which I'm not sure she deserves to be in the top 40, but I did want to mention her. I think she's amazing, and I'm going to be doing some testing on her. Make sure you let me know in the comments below if I missed anybody that should be on the list or Ash missed anybody that should be on the list, and give me your opinions about these champions that I'm mentioning today. Solus is one of the best provokers in the game, and he also is great for dealing damage as well. I think Solus should be on the list above Angar, but I mean, that's pretty close. And lastly on this 5 champions is going to be Emic, who I think is mandatory to be on the top 40. He allows certain unkillable teams to exist. His kit is just very well suited towards Hydra. A lot of people use him with their Trunda teams, all of that stuff. I did not include Gerptuk, but that would be another one that could go along in these same veins. Same with Nia. Both of those champions pair really well with Trunda, okay? And I don't think he even had any of the reset champions on there either, so we could have included Yumiko on that list just because she's in the Trunda teams, okay? Please, Plarium, nerf Trunda. She should not be this good for Hydra. Alright, next 5, and these are mind-blowing. Mighty Uko was not in the top 40. Literally how? Literally how? Okay, maybe you say Mashald is just out of the top 40. We call him Salad. I don't know, some people didn't know that on stream last night. So if you're a newer player, you hear somebody talking about Salad and Raid Shadow Legends. We're talking about Mashald. And what he does is amazing. He brings damage. He can be your mischief tank. He is super, super good with the increased speed, the leech, all of that stuff, okay? And it is a violation, absolutely horrendous, that we did not include Rathalos Blademaster on the list. He's like a go-to when I'm doing takeovers because often he does better damage than everyone else that's available. I also wanted to include Varl here. I think Varl is amazing and pairs super well with champions like Michinaki or Ugo, all champions that do those decreased defense. He pairs really well. He brings the weaken and a lot of damage. Last but not least on this second 5 champions, I wanted to mention Pythion. I think Pythion unlocks a lot of Hydra for a lot of people. He brings a level of survivability that is close to second to none. Obviously, there are champions that bring more survivability than him, but he's one of the best. In addition to that, he has the cleanse and the revive. You need that reviver on your team, and the cleanse is so helpful as well. So I think Pythion should have definitely made the list over other people, but certainly Mighty Uko and Rathalos Blademaster. Now let's jump into the teams that I built and tested with champions that are not on the list. So all of the teams you're about to see here, I have 3 different teams. We're going to start off on Hard Hydra. None of these champions are on his top 40 list. We have in Hard Hydra freaking Razzlevarg, okay? How is one of the best damage dealers in the game for Hydra not on the list? He's insane. Absolutely insane. He might be your best damage dealer in Hydra, period. Number 2, Sun Wukong, not on the list. This guy is an absolute go-to for block buffs. Absolute go-to. Number 3, Bivald. I did love Bivald, actually. I've been pretty critical about him in the past, but in this team, he was essential. I don't think that Stag Knight deserves to be top 40 here, but I just wanted to include him as an awesome option, and he turned out way better than I was anticipating, especially in this team. Another one I don't think deserves to be on the top 40 is going to be Tyrant, but he is amazing. He helps your survivability, and he brings HP burn. If you want to do this, though, I would recommend him in some kind of set that gives him health back, immortal, regen, etc. Bolster would be fine. Anything like that, he needs to gain health back because he's going to take a lot of damage from the ally protection. And number 3, Ash included White Queen and Korra, and Kaja is a very similar champion to that. I've used Kaja in a bunch of different teams in videos and in takeovers. She's really good. She's not the best, but she's really, really good. And this was an amazing result. I didn't go like specifically gear these champions for this team. I just used whatever gear I had on them, and you can see we got a really good result. I don't think this can do brutal. It was a little sketchy with survivability. We would need a higher level champion or better gear in order to put this on brutal, I think. But, you know, if you change Stag Knight to Lydia, for example, then maybe we're talking. Number 2, on Nightmare, he did not have Duchess on his list. No Duchess. How? You cannot have a top 40 Hydra champions list without Duchess on it. That's insane. So anyway, if you want more damage in your Hydra teams, certainly you're going to remove Duchess. However, she unlocks content that you can't do otherwise. I do think Pythion would be able to go in this team in place of her, or maybe Raka, like we mentioned before. I think there are other options that will work in this spot instead of Duchess, and I also think this team is much better suited for Brutal than Nightmare. Again, we have Wukong and Razelvarg. I kind of took the previous team and upgraded it to be able to do Nightmare. I think that Cecia should have definitely been on his list, but I do think she's near the bottom of the top 40, if I'm being honest. Another amazing Provoke champion is Skull Vargal, and he also brings decreased attack, which is really helpful as well. So, another thing I like about him is his Mischief tank ability. He's easy to build. His base stats are amazing. You can build him with resistance and accuracy pretty easily. Last but not least, Vizix does not deserve a place on the top 40, but it's close. She has Provoke and decreased speed, and she is really good. You definitely want her in a team with a Reviver, because again, just like Tyrant, she's going to die probably because of that ally protect. And last, but certainly not least, I am so excited to show you this team. More than any of the other teams, this one shocked me for how good it was. I wanted a team for normal that would be easy to construct, have not a ton of legendaries, and have champions that people would probably, own on their accounts. Okay, so Dudan in the front, so good. Ignore the 6-star blessing, it is not important. You can just run Dudan, and in fact, he is not important to the team. You can run somebody else. Seeker was in there for the turn meter boost and the provoke. He was bad affinity and still managed to hold it down. Mordecai could be literally any HP burn champion, but dude, he was good. And Ostrox, wow, love that guy. Again, Stag Knight coming in there, and then Scylla the Drakes. None of these champions belong on the top 40, but this is just a team to show you that you don't need champions on the top 40 in order to build a team that works. And in addition to that, I saw tons of questions in Ash's comment section saying, oh great, I don't have any of these champions. Well, these are some teams to help you when you don't have any of these champions. This is not an exhaustive list. There are even more champions that you can use on your Hydra teams. I think that Tunisia's great. I think that a lot of the other mythical champions are great. There's so many champions you can use in this game for your Hydra teams. The most important thing is the team composition. You need a balance of abilities. You can't have all damage dealers. You can't have all support. You need certain abilities like block buffs and provoke and decrease defense. All of these things are super helpful. Even champions like Shamrock that bring increased speed and decreased speed. There are so many great champions for Hydra. I know myself and Nub have really locked in on a lot of underrated champions in Raid for Hydra. Some other content creators as well. But there are so many champions you can use, so don't feel bad if you don't have all the champions, even on my list or on the top 40. There are plenty of champions you can use to succeed in Hydra. If you need help, book a takeover. The coaching is one of the cheapest ones that I offer, and yes, it is a couple bucks, but very well worth it. Every single person who gets a service from me has been pleased, and we have done incredible things on so many people's accounts. If you just want advice, join my Discord and ask your questions there. That's the whole reason why I have the Discord. Last but not least, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, appreciate you if you hit that like button. That way, YouTube can push it out to more people, and this can help more players. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy Hydra. Have fun. It's so fun building Hydra teams and making progress in that game mode, adding more and more damage. Good luck and enjoy. Have a great day.